Well, good evening, everyone. The Wandering Yuki here on another beautiful, cloudy Friday afternoon. It may be cloudy, there's a chance of rain, but you know what? It's the weekend. Let's just enjoy it while we can. So as you can see by the footage from before, I decided to stick around home to do a little bit of a supper out, and of course get myself a high-quality brew. This is one I've been to countless times in the last year, but I thought this would be a good time to document it. The place is called La Belle et la Barbe, which the beauty and the beard is what it translates to in English, so it almost sounds like it could be a barber, which is a very hipster thing, I guess you could say, but truth be told, it's a pretty nice bistro. The kind of bistro that you won't really find around here, but it's really tasty. But I'm going to be doing something really nice first. One high-quality IPA. Apparently that's worth an achievement too. Love the name of that trophy. Delicious. So to answer this first question, what is it about this place that makes it my favorite? Well, just because it's unique within my area. So to give you a bit of a background, my neck of the woods, you really wouldn't find too many of these kinds of restaurants. More often than not, you see a lot of fast food places, types of Greek restaurants, sometimes the brochettes and bar and grill type places. But an urban style French bistro, here you wouldn't find them as much. Some other areas of the South Shore, possibly you find it, but these kinds are also pretty common downtown. And one of the things I remember trying here when I started coming here sometime last year was obviously some beef tartare. That's a dish that I'm kind of enjoying a lot these days. In fact, the first time I tried it was, I want to say 2019, when I went to Nick's Bistro, no less. And no, just because my name is, because of the name, I wasn't able to get a free meal. That's not how it works. And funny enough, something I remember too is, when you live around here for so long, you can kind of see how much the neighborhood had changed over the years or even the decades. This lot that it's on, I mostly remember this as being a GM dealer with a huge car lot. And this was also back in the days when you were able to have guard dogs on the outside, guarding all the stuff when it's locked up and closed. Obviously, you're not going to be doing that anymore. Over time, the car lot closed, or at least moved to another area of town. And then this building was remodeled to have a few other types of stores. Phone, like telecommunications dealers. You have a gym here that has Zumba classes, and this bistro too. And that's kind of one of the unique things. This is definitely the kind of restaurant you could find around the plateau. It's not uncommon there. This is very unique. So it's one of the reasons I enjoy coming to get this. And it wouldn't be me if I'm not talking about microbrewers. Something I enjoy here is that all the beer that they have, whether it's on tap or on can, is all microbrewery stuff. So I wouldn't necessarily walk in here and thinking you're going to get some Coors Light or Rickard's Red on tap. They got stuff from the Boldwin brewer. Hang on, I'll check the menu. Vagabond, Boldwin, Farnham. Okay, stuff that I find pretty often in the grocery stores, but getting on tap, very few places I know would carry that. At best, I would think Vices and Versa up in Little Italy would probably have it on tap, since they do have about 40 or so brews available. But it's pretty unique. Like, this is a hit place for me. I kind of love this vibe. And I'll have a little bit of time to enjoy this beer while I'm deciding what I'm going to eat today. It's definitely a nice and cozy place. And you're looking around, if you see that footage, you're probably thinking, wait, this looks really empty. Well, the fact of the matter is, I always come here when it opens up, like 5 p.m., because I've seen what it's like before. By the middle of the evening, this is going to get really packed, and there's a good chance I'm not even going to get a seat, because it fills up quite a bit. Especially on a Friday, too, when everybody wants to go out for supper. And I guess if there's one it to this, or like one catch, it's only open from 5 to 10, maybe 5 to 11 on a weekend. So if you want to come for a lunch, it's not going to be possible. But it's one of those places that they open late, but when it's open, it gets a lot of business. It gets packed here. Maybe one day what I could do too is I could document this over the summertime when they have the terrace open, because it is kind of cozy out there too with the way they set up the lights, as you saw with the intro video too. Well, I decided to go for my regular meal once again. Beef tartare. I looked at the menu, there's some good stuff there, but I guess I'll think about doing a change of the supper dish another time. I don't know. I'm sure that if you think beef tartare, you're thinking about that Mr. Bean episode where he gets it, but he thinks it's like raw beef, and he just ends up shoving it to every orifice or every corner in the restaurant too. I think he even shoved it down the waiter's pants. But it's not just raw meat. It's usually mixed with some kind of onion, bacon, cheese, sometimes capers, so it's a good mix of everything. And they usually give it to you with these little pieces of bread. Sometimes it's tortillas, because I've actually been to a terrace that actually serves it on tortillas. So just take a bit, put some on top. And then you enjoy it. Just like that. Obviously, you have to watch out for your cuts of meat. It takes a very specific one. You never make tartare with ground beef. That's just stupid. Well, that was a really tasty meal. And one thing I'm noticing is that the playlist is very consistent over here. Like, I've heard a bit of Usher, a bit of the Fugees. I forget the name of the artist, but that song that pays tribute to Notorious B.I.G. Yeah, it's taking me back to my high school years, because late 90s, that was really popular around the time. But all good stuff. And obviously after a good meal, I have to go for round two. This one is, I believe it's Vagabond, and it's, yeah, Vagabond, and it's Lura. It's a nice organic blonde beer, like somewhere in the 4.3% range, so it's a very light one, very easy to drink. It's something very enjoyable too. Again, small stock of what's on tap, but most of the beers you're going to get are canned, so really good stuff. And one thing I like to pay attention to as well is the whiskey selection, because you know me, I'm a Scotch guy. I love that kind of stuff. And I've had some with my buddies here, like the one time we all came together. And even the wine selection is pretty good too. And yeah, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know it's very rare that I do have a glass of wine in hand. Truth be told, it all depends on the crowd that I'm with. If I'm alone, I usually like to have my beer. Some groups of friends will have some wine, or if I'm on a date, yeah, I would probably indulge in a bottle of wine to, you know, enjoy myself. And again, actually not again, because I already, actually no, I haven't talked about it yet, but my taste in wine is very specific. Like, I like certain regions, and I don't like it to be too sweet. And one easy way to do is if you're looking on the SAQ app, and you're looking up the wine, look at how many grams of sugar it is per liter. My threshold is like somewhere in the 4 or 5 gram per liter range or less. That means it's going to be really good. Anything more that tastes a lot like juice, probably not for me. But maybe one day, depending on the group I'm with, or depending on my mood, I may be able to highlight some wine one of these days. One fine brew, and it's starting to get a little bit busy over here, so we're getting plenty of activity. Now, if this is my usual self, I would probably be finishing off with a nice whiskey or a scotch, but I decided to do something different. I'm doing over here a little bit of grappa. I know, you're probably shocked too, like, how is this guy going for grappa now? Well, there's a reason for it. My only experience with grappa was when I did a trip to Italy back in 2019. And really, the only time I did try that was when I was in Rome, and I mixed it up with a bit of a shot of espresso. It was like mid-afternoon on my last day there. And if you wanted to see that again, well, click on the link on the top right corner, and you'll be able to revisit that trip, and you'll see my reaction to it. But my understanding is that there's actually different types of grappa you can get based on the region. So apparently, if you go to the northern region of Italy, like if you're in Milan or the Lombardy region, you can get them that kind of taste like, they taste a little bit like Grand Marnier, so slightly sweeter. Other ones you get, it's almost like drinking jet fuel from what I've heard too, so I'm kind of curious about it. I actually didn't get the name of this one, but I took one of the two different ones. There was one they told me that had a very woody taste, almost like you're having like a Jack Daniels, or one that's made with unaged grapes. I went with the latter because I want to see what this is like. So now, instead of having the taste of coffee to dilute it, you're going to get my reaction to this. satisfying, actually. Impressive. As you can see, it's actually gotten pretty packed now at around 6:30. This is when everyone starts to come in, especially like maybe this time of the year. Earlier if it's summertime, they come a bit earlier, but hey, it is what it is. And it's perfect timing because I'm going to be starting to wrap up soon. And before I go, I'm going to need to get some energization ready, but I'm doing something simple. It's going to be one allongé for myself, with a little bit of milk inside for good measure too. Yeah, can't really complain about that. Good beef tartare, good beers, surprisingly good grappa that didn't taste like jet fuel, and coffee, which is coffee, so pretty enjoyable. I'm going to finish this off and then head on out. So until then, thanks for watching this edition of the Wandering Yuki Cheese Cafe. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and give me a thumbs up if you enjoy my antics. And if you have something else you ever want me to highlight down the road, leave it in the comments section, and we'll see what we can do from there. See you around. Yep, very nice.